Hi, first grade. I have a book for you this week, and this book is funny, and it is called Dog Breath: The Horrible Trouble with Halitosis by Dave Pilkey, and he also drew the pictures. So we see a dog on the cover here. And the dog has this green cloud coming out of his mouth, which I think says he has bad breath. Or her, I'm sorry, Hallie. Hallie's probably a girl. Halitosis. So on the back of the book, it says, "Hold your nose. Bad breath is better than no breath at all, because here comes the dog with the worst breath in the world." And there's a picture of halitosis. So let's read about halitosis's adventures. Let's begin. So here's our title page. And you can see that Hallie is breathing on some flowers. And so here they are looking wonderful. And she's breathing on them and they're wilting. They're looking bad. So there once was a dog named Hallie who lived with the Tosis family. Halitosis was a very good dog. But she had a big problem. And here's the picture of them, and they're all holding their nose. But Hallie looks happy. Halitosis had horrible breath. Whenever Halitosis opened her mouth, horrible things happened. Now we see her breath here. There's Hallie, and she is making the wallpaper come off. She's breathing on the plants. The leaves are coming off. The fish is upside down. And the picture, the Mona Lisa, is holding her nose. That's how bad her breath is. When the children took Halitosis for a walk, everyone else walked on the other side of the street. Even skunks avoided halitosis. Okay, so we see the skunks holding their noses, and the kids holding their noses, and the people walking holding their noses. The lady, look, she's holding her nose. The baby's holding its nose. But the real trouble started one day when Grandma Tosis stopped by for a cup of tea. And Hallie jumped up to say hello. So here is Grandma, Halitosis. She's coming in. And they're holding their noses. Hallie is breathing her dog breath. And she jumps up Grandma's hair. Woo! Her tea. Woo! Hallie looks happy though. Mr. and Mrs. Tosis were not amused. "Something has to be done about that smelly dog," they said. So there's Grandma. She fell off of her seat. The cloud of Hallie's breath is on the ground, and they all look pretty upset. Even Hallie looks a little embarrassed, maybe. The next day, Mr. and Mrs. Tosis decided to find a new home for Hallie. The children knew that the only way they could save their dog was to get rid of her bad breath. So they took Halitosis to the top of a mountain that had a breathtaking view. So here they are in their house, and they're putting up a sign that says, "Free dog to a good home." The children are crying. Hallie looks worried. Here they're taking her up the mountain, and it says wanted for burglary, and it has these two little burglars on there. They hoped that the breathtaking view would take Hallie's breath away. There's the breathtaking view sign, and they're sitting up there, but it didn't work. There's the sun even holding its nose. Next, the children took Halitosis to a very exciting movie. They hoped that all the excitement would leave Hallie breathless. And the movie's called Breath of a Salesman, starring periodontal and gingivitis. I'll leave you breathless. Would it leave Hallie breathless? It didn't. Finally, the children took Halitosis to a carnival. They hoped that Hallie would lose her breath on the speedy roller coaster. It says, free balloon, hot dogs. You'll lose your breath on our roller coaster. So there's the movie. And everyone's holding their noses. She's even spraying something into the crowd. And then here they are going to the carnival, hoping that maybe the roller coaster will take Hallie's breath away. Oh, and here they go. Down the roller coaster. There's Hallie breathing her dog breath behind her. Looking at all the people. They look pretty upset. Doesn't look like they're having fun on the roller coaster. But that idea stunk too. The plans to change Hallie's bad breath had failed. Now only a miracle could save Halitosis. Sadly, the three friends said goodnight, unaware that a miracle was just on the horizon. So there are all the people getting off the roller coaster, and they look pretty sick. And then we see Hallie and her family here, and her kids, and they're sad. Later that night, when everyone was sound asleep, two sneaky burglars crept into the Halitosis home. The two burglars were tiptoeing through the dark, quiet rooms when suddenly they came across Halitosis. "Yikes!" whispered one burglar. "It's a big, mean, scary dog." "Ah, don't be silly," whispered the other burglar. "That's only a cute little fuzzy pup." Well, here are the burglars sneaking in. And there are the burglars who found Hallie. She looks so sweet. The two burglars giggled at the sight of such a friendly little dog. "That dog couldn't hurt a fly," whispered one burglar. "Come here, Poochie Poochie," whispered the other. So Halitosis came over and gave the burglars a nice big kiss. Slurp. So there they are, trying to get Halitosis to come with them. And there they are she's licking their faces. The next morning, the Tosis family woke to find two burglars passed out cold on their living room floor. It was a miracle. So as you can see, the burglars here. Hallie's just as happy as can be with her cloud of bad breath. The Tosis family got a big reward for turning in the crooks And soon Halitosis was the most famous crime-fighting dog in the country. And there's all these newspaper headlines. And in the end, Mr. and Mrs. Tosis changed their minds about finding a new home for Hallie. They decided to keep their wonderful watchdog after all. So we see the headlines for her, and it says, Hero Hound halts hoodlums. Bad breath bungles burglary. Houston Herald, Boston Beacon, Pittsburgh Press, panting pooch paralyzes prowlers. Tabloid Times, mutant space dog captures evil Elvis clowns. Ravenna Review, rancid respirations restrain robbers. And then there they are taking their sign back out. This home protected by dog breath. There's Hallie. She's happy now. Because life without halitosis just wouldn't make any sense. And so there's Hallie, and she's happy, and her family's happy, and they just use clothespins. And they said sense. They used the word sense, and they spelled it like a smell instead of the word sense. The end. So, that is Dog Breath, the horrible trouble with halitosis. I hope you liked it. I will read you guys another book next week. It's almost spring. It's almost summer break. I don't know if it's going to be any different than it is now, but it'll be summer. It'll be nice and warm every day, hopefully. So, I will see you guys next week.